Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the Big Impact Success panel. And we have our amazing panelists here. We have guests sort of like joining in and pouring in here. And we'll get underway shortly. So first, just acknowledgments to those of you who are on time and are here and on camera, which is wonderful to see. So you'll wave at some of our panelists. I'm going to give them all a really great introduction later. So you've got Ken and Nina and Steve and Yvonne and Nairi. And then some of our participants that are joining in right now. So I see Alicia, Brian, Dave, Douglas, Jenna, Jill, John. We've got a lot of J's here today. Margaret, Marissa, Scott, and Winston so far. And so welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. And I'm going to introduce you to some really amazing people, right? Some friends that I have been working with in the industry for a while. And not only are we all on a mission to make a big positive impact with our work, but we help others make a bigger impact with their work as well. So welcome everybody to the Big Impact Success panel. And this is where we get to dive deep into how do we help you make a bigger positive impact, grow your influence, and get more clients and ultimately be more profitable. And we call it Big Impact because, this is now probably about a dozen events of like this that we've done so far where we have surveyed our audience. And they have told us that the reason why they do what they do is because they want to make a big impact in the lives of others, possibly even the people in their community, and possibly even the world with the work that you do. And you are amazing people all in your own right because you resonate with that. And so welcome. So for those of you who do not know me, my name is Chuck Anderson. I am your host and your moderator for today's panel. And we run an agency called eventaffiliates.com, where we specialize in helping people who want to make a big impact, like coaches and consultants and service providers, to host virtual events, kind of like the one you're on right now. So it could be these types of collaborative events, could be webinars, workshops, or classes. We help our clients fill those by connecting with affiliates and partners. In fact, some of the panelists that you're going to meet today are my partners, my affiliates. We support each other's businesses. We promote each other. We send referrals to one another. And that is really what we do, is we help you to kind of create those partnerships. So after the panel portion of today's presentation, I am going to do a presentation that will change your business if you put it into practice. And that's where I'm going to talk about 3 types of affiliate partnerships that you can use to fill any coaching program or virtual event to full capacity. And so stay tuned for that. You're going to want to take notes. But first, we're going to lead up to our amazing panel. And let me just give you a little bit of a preview of who you're going to meet and what you're going to learn. And also I'm going to share some of these survey results. So thank you to all that participated in our pre-event survey. It really helps us to dial in the content that we bring to these events. And if my Zoom cooperates here, I will definitely be able to share this with you. Here is our amazing panel, who you'll be hearing from very shortly. We have Steve Brossman, we have Nairi Roos, we have Ken Krell, Yvonne McCoy, and Nina Farid. And you'll learn more about them and what each of their specialties are in a moment. But let me tell you something that's very, very special about these folks. Okay. They also resonate with being a big impact expert of some sort. I know each one of these people personally. They were handpicked, they were curated to be here today. We've done podcast episodes together. We've done webinars together. We've done other collaborative promotion campaigns together. These are my friends in the industry. I trust them. The advice that they give you today can take your business from here to here very, very quickly when you implement what it is that they have to share with you. So, I'm very excited that they are here, that they have been part of this amazing collaboration. And we will bring them up to the stage here in just a moment. So thank you all for being here, and get ready to take notes, lots of notes, because they are going to share lots of really great nuggets of content and information here in just a moment. I want to talk a little bit about you first. And you are here most likely. Now, not everybody participated in the pre-event survey, but about 40% of you did. So I consider this to be a pretty good cross section of who is here and why, right? And I want you to know that, yes, in this virtual world, a lot of us are kind of working in our bubbles, and it can kind of feel like we're navigating this journey alone. And I want you to know that you're not alone. And this is where you are with family here. You are with people who resonate with what it is that you want to do. Some of you feel like you're still working on validating offers and your audience. Income and consistent clients generation can feel a little inconsistent. Marketing can feel really busy, and sometimes a full-time job, but it's not predictable. And in some cases, you look at all of the effort you're putting in, and where are the results? And so it can feel like that. You might be leveraging partnerships and relationships and affiliates. And anyone who's in my world knows that I'm super pro partnership and affiliate, and building quality relationships that are very collaborative and not transactional. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that later. You could even be launching something new in the next 90 days. I love to talk about this one a little bit, because when you're launching something new, I always have the question of, is this your first program? So yes, it makes sense that you're launching something new. Or is this a new program? Are you launching a new program in response to maybe a previous program that didn't, meet your expectations or didn't sell really well? And, in the almost 30 years that I've been coaching people on how to do business online, I have found that, sometimes something that, when you look at the overall picture, doesn't, seems like it's not working. When you really look under the hood and you look at all the bits and pieces that are present, that are there, you find that 90% of it was working, and it's really just this 10% that needed to be fixed or tweaked or made better. And that's the difference. It's not that you need to throw the whole thing out and start over, but really it's what was missing. What's that missing piece? And I can't tell you how many times I've seen people go full circle all the way back to their original program once they get down a certain path. So if you're launching something new for the first time, great. If you're launching something new as a response to the old thing not working, don't throw it out quite yet. Let's have a look at that and see how we can make it better. If any of this rings true, then you are home. You are home. This room was built for you, and you're among friends and family, because we all resonate with this. And I guarantee our panelists have all been there when it comes to this. We work with people to help them overcome these inconsistencies, if you will. And that's why we're here today. That's why I invited them to come and share what's working for them and how they can help to get you on that path. And each one of them has come bearing gifts. We have free gifts from each one of them. We will get to those a little bit later on, that are next steps for you to go ahead and start to implement and start making that bigger impact. Just a few insights before we bring up our panelists that you shared during your pre-event survey. I'm not going to go through all the questions, but here's the highlights. What best describes your current business stage? 44% said that they have an offer, they have a product or a service, but it's not selling consistently. That's like half the room. Okay. So, that might very well ring true for you. You're looking to about 20% said that they are scaling and want more leverage. That's awesome. There's definitely opportunities to do that. 20% said that they're making sales, but they would like it to be more consistent. And 16% are just getting started. So we're not talking to all people who are just getting started. There's a mix here, but we can definitely talk about, how to create that consistency and how to scale and how to do it in a more leveraged way. So you're definitely in the right place. Next question was, how are you currently getting clients? Referrals? Okay. And when a lot of people say referrals, they mean word of mouth referrals, not like affiliate referrals. So that's word of mouth, maybe from like a happy client or whatever. Social media, 40%, email list, 32%, partnerships and affiliates, which is my specialty. We'll talk about that more a little bit later on. 28%. Not getting clients yet, also 28%, and 12% running paid ads. Okay. So if you are not getting clients yet, you are definitely in the right place. And if you're using all of these things, we're going to have our panelists weigh in on like what's working for them. And so we can guide you in the right direction. What is your biggest challenge right now? 40% says not enough sales, right? And that's what we hear all the time. Like, how do I make more sales? So we're definitely going to be talking about that. Not enough leads, don't have a clear offer, inconsistent results. And very few said that they don't have an audience, which is awesome because you really need to know who your audience is if you're going to do any of these other things, right? And if you're going to make sales. Have you ever worked with affiliates or partners before? 64% said no, but I'm interested. 16% yes, successfully. Yes, but and another 16% yes, but it didn't work well. I'm going to solve that problem here for you today, right after the panel portion. So stay tuned for my presentation after the roundtable discussion. And then, how quickly do you want to see these results? How about immediately or within the next 30 days, right? That is the majority of this audience. And I can guarantee you that our panelists, we're smart people, but we're not generally patient when we implement something that we actually do want it to work fairly quickly. So without further ado, again, I'm just going to say welcome to the Big Impact Success panel. And it is time. It is time to bring up our amazing panelists and let's talk about some of these things. Let's have them each weigh in on what it is that they are doing in their business. And Robin, if you want to go ahead and just spotlight all 5 of them, including me, so that we are all showing on the screen. And there's the amazing Ken Krell. Hello, Ken. And there's Nina. Hello, Nina. I was on Nina's live show yesterday. These partnerships and collaborations are so cool. There's Nairi. Hello, Nairi, and Steve, and Yvonne. And I need to be spotlighted there too. We have all of you. Well, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And so let me just bring up all of my amazing questions over here. I have so many questions for you, and I know I don't have time for all of them. First of all, I just want to, again, let everybody know you want to learn from these people. They have amazing things going on in their own right, and we also are part of a very collaborative community where we support each other, we promote each other, and we boost each other's businesses. And if there's one message I would really like you to take away from today is that nobody wins alone. You might think you can, you might want to, but I can tell you that winning in business is a team sport. And this is part of my extended team. So welcome, everybody. So my first question, and I will just call out in the order that I see you on my screen. And the order I see is Nina, then Steve, then Yvonne, then Nairi, then Ken. And again, I'm going to time control your answers just a little bit. So we could easily turn this into a one-day workshop. Agreed? So take 60 seconds to introduce yourself, what you do, and how you help others make a big impact with their work. Starting with Nina, go ahead.
Great. Love going first. So, hi, everybody. Very excited to be here and thank you for the opportunity, Chuck. So, I am a LinkedIn strategist and engagement helper, so to speak. So, I like to say that I cultivate good LinkedIn citizens. What that means is I run a LinkedIn engagement group, which is so much more than an engagement group. It's also a strategy group, a learning group, a support group, and just an inspirational group for people who want to grow organically without bro marketing, smarmy sales tactics on LinkedIn. And that's really all I do. There's ancillary stuff around it, but that is the core offer. That is what I focus on. And that's where I'm invested in making sure that my membership, which is a thriving, growing community, we're over 50 people now, get what they came to for in LinkedIn.
Awesome. Thank you, Nina. Next up, Steve, tell us about you, what you do, who you are, what you do, and how you help others make a big impact.
Yeah, I've got a question for everybody. And the question is, why did you get into business? You got into business because you were born hotshot salesperson and you were just looking for something to sell. Or did you get into business because you love what you're doing? And by the way, you actually need to sell to eat. I work on the bookends of the spectrum. For those of you who aren't standing out and you call yourself an A coach, A consultant, A whatever, I turn you into a the person, the first choice. But there is only one place that you actually make money, all the lead generation, exposure, visibility. And by the way, if you want visibility, walk down the street naked. Won't get you many sales, but you will get a lot of visibility. I work with people on how you can turn all of that, have a fantastic conversation. In the end of the conversation, they say, "Oh my God, Ken, I need to work with you." And that's basically what I do. I work on the bookend, stand out, but actually show you how to actually make money.
Awesome. And I got to tell you, all your internal clocks are amazing. Like we said a minute and you're like bang on, which is amazing. Thank you, Steve. Great to have you here. Yvonne, tell
I,
us what you do and how you help others make a big impact.
well, first of all, I have to say, I am so happy to be on the panel with everybody here because I have met or worked with everybody except Neri, and I hope we will do that in the future. So I want to say that I work with people who are really good at what they do and have not, are not getting that consistent sales. So I work on your clarity so you can be more confident, so you can get more consistent sales. You are doing things that are amazing. You don't need to be fixed. You just need to be found. And I help you stand out and help you so that you're getting ready to scale.
Awesome. Yes, you do. And anyone here want to be found, right? And so awesome. Yes, sometimes we don't have an offer problem, we have a visibility problem.
Mm.
And so
I
it's
think it's the
that's really
clarity.
you don't need a new program, you just need more visibility.
You
Yeah.
need clarity before the visibility too.
And
Um,
we're going to dive into that part of this conversation as well. Thanks, Yvonne. Nairi, how about you?
Yeah, welcome, 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 everyone. It's great to be here, and I hail from the land down under, Australia. And for those of you who I haven't come across before, I'm a co founder of Explosion Marketing, creator of the Conversion Accelerator Summit host, and I'm known as a client acquisition strategist. And I work with 6 to 7 figure speakers, coaches, and entrepreneurs who are brilliant at what they do, but are leaving serious money on the table because they don't have the right resources and systems to consistently attract and convert high value clients. And really, my focus is to build a signature presentation funnel, a complete end to end system fully resourced from pre to post launch that positions them as a consistently sought out go to authority in their space. We lock in the right strategic partners, deploy the marketing channels that actually move the needle and build out the entire ecosystem around their expertise. I really see the work that I do with my clients as a partner journey, the centerpiece being their own virtual summit, which accelerates visibility, that gets them in front of a premium audience and really gets them into that 7 figure area. And the outcome isn't just more clients, it's a business and life by design. So I just want to welcome you here today and say thanks for having me, Chuck.
Awesome. Thank you, Nairi. Ken, over to you. Who
Well,
are you and how do you help?
a hell of a good question. Well, first of all, I want to acknowledge my friends from Oz. There are two and a half of us here because I spent the past 4 years across the harbor for my buddy Steve, and I can't wait to get back. June was the 22nd, 24th. I arrived back. I cannot wait. So I'm telling you, I can't wait. Anyway, a number of people know me from my Pride events, which stands for Produce Ridiculously Irresistible Digital Events, which is how Yvonne and I know each other. Steve worked with me on some of those things I've done as well. So if you want to be doing that, I don't teach Pride anymore. That's going to be Nairi's area of expertise for today. But for people that really want to take a sale and have it be more consistent. For those of you that are finding revenue where it is inconsistent, you run a launch, you run a program, and then after you make your money, it's crickets. I got the answer to that. And so we can talk about that a little bit today too, because I built a system that's really pretty amazing. And then for those of you that are having difficulty running a sale, and this will be perfect. Mary and I, you and I have to talk about this afterwards. That was a minute. Holy shit. Okay, I'm done. I know when I'm.
Well,
I know when I'm done.
that's just the intro, Ken. It's
That's
okay.
it.
We are going to dive deep.
That's called an open loop, kids.
That's why we put the timer on, because I learned from my January panel where one of the four or one of the five, and I know we don't have anyone like that here, did like 3.5 to 4 minute answers where everybody
Mm,
else did. So yeah. And we don't have to limit the next answers to just a minute. I'm gonna increase it to 90 seconds. How about that?
mm.
90 seconds to a minute,
Wow.
to 2 minutes. Well, do the 90-second timer. We'll see how it goes.
You and I will dance.
Because I want to get to the really good stuff, but
Yeah.
this is all really good stuff. But my next question for you is, and this is what, again, really thinking about our audience that we have here today, is what is one area where you see people struggling that is totally solvable, right? And so, this could be something you're noticing with your clients. It's something that you hear all the time. It's something, problems that people are coming to you with that you're helping them to solve. So, starting with Nina, what is one of these areas where you see people struggle that's totally solvable?
I think, as with lots of things in our lives, not just, posting on LinkedIn, it is the consistency factor. I know a couple of you here would agree with me. And it really is the biggest problem, and is so solvable, is the content creation part on LinkedIn, because most people collapse the planning with the ideation, with the content creation and the posting and then the commenting, and think it is all one thing that they have to do 3 minutes before they do to post. And once they realize that these are like 5 completely separate steps that start like 4 months prior, ideally, and I can guide them through that and hold them accountable about it. It is such a huge aha moment, because now we're not missing big deadlines anymore. We're not missing promoting something that's really important to us, like a panel like this. You need to prepare, think about it, schedule it, plan it, start creating the content for it, and then have it ready for posting. So these are all discrete, different steps. And I find that once we go through that exercise of tearing it all apart and making it little chewable chunks, it's so solvable and so easy, and it saves you a incredible amount of time.
Absolutely. I love that. And yeah, the all of this planning as an afterthought, like you said, 3 minutes before your post, it requires a little bit more planning than that, right? And
Yes.
so, yes, good. Being strategic is what
Yeah,
I heard.
yeah. And then
Um,
when you want video or stuff like that, you need to have lead time to create it, right?
oh yeah, right. Yes. Oh yeah, I'm going to post a video in the next 5 minutes that I haven't recorded yet. Yeah, really
Mhm.
great idea.
Exactly.
And some of it being an afterthought, like going, I really should post something, but I don't have anything. So I'll just do anything. And that will get you momentum. But then we want to go from there to being more strategic. Absolutely. Steve, how about you? What's an area that you see people struggle that they're coming to you with that's totally solvable?
Yeah, well, obviously it's the end, which is the sale, but it's not the sales conversation and it's not the last couple of minutes of the sales conversation, like the pitch, etc., that does the trick. I mean, the analogy is, how do you run 100 meters fast? Well, you train really hard, you select the race that you want to win, you get off to a great start and a good middle, and then the end bit is actually the last part. Everybody's teaching the close, the pitch, and all of that. But the sale starts with hello. It starts with your LinkedIn posts. It starts with your summit. It starts with all of that. And we talk about the energy flow. How do we enhance and accelerate the client flow? By enhancing the energy flow, by having them actually knock on the door and say, this is fantastic. Can we have a conversation? And then what a lot of people get is they get into that sales conversation and they say, I better talk about myself. I better tell people what I do. People don't buy what you do. They buy what you do for them, and they actually buy what you do for others. So when you're strategic, I was on a call earlier and they were talking about testimonials in a presentation, and people just rattle off and rattle off. But it's like, well, how do I understand that you can do for me what you've done for others? And a lot of people talk about this is what I do, but the first thing that you need to do, and I'm watching the clock, the first thing that you need to do is the 4 understands. I'm going to get on my soapbox for 20 seconds. The first understand is to help your prospect and client understand what their real problem is. 47.5% of people don't know what it is. And then it's for them to understand that you get them and you understand them. When you've got those 2 right first, then your sales conversation is so much easier. You're selling from inside the buyer's head and their heart. So sell from the place of, I'm going to understand what it is that you need, and we're going to collaborate on a solution that is going to be suitable for you. So if you want to change the results that you do, change the focus on, I've got to explain what I do. And if they get it, they're going to buy more than, hey, let me understand what we can work on and let's co-create it together.
Brilliant. Love all of that. And that's going to tie in really nicely to our next round of questions. But continuing on with Yvonne, what's an area where you see people struggle that's totally solvable?
I think I recognize patterns, and what I see is people want to jump right into their product and their process without first getting clarity about what it is, what the benefit is of what they do. And more importantly, why, as Steve says, why they are the expert. What's their special mixture of experiences and skills that makes them the only one who can do that? And sometimes the thing that's ironic to me is it's sitting there so big in front of them and they don't see what that special thing is. And if you can't see it, your clients won't see it either. So that you need that clarity. And I have seen it so many times when I say, you do this, and the person goes, oh my God, I do. And it's like, right? And then the confidence automatically comes because you're very clear about what you do and you want to talk about it and you're excited about it. And that's what your client, when you can get into, what the head, as Steve said, of what it is you do for your clients, it is amazing. And it changes their life. And it changes your life too, because you stop second guessing yourself and your messages are consistent. You don't have to keep doing 5 different things that you need to show up 12 times for, so that you need to show up 24, 36, 48 times. You just need to have that message show up consistently. So it is a lot less work for you, and the results are far more powerful and consistent.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more, Yvonne. Thank you. Nairi, how about you? What's an area that you see the struggle
Yeah,
that we
not
can
dis
solve?
yeah, not dissimilar to what Steve and Yvonne have actually shared today. But one of the key things that I find with people, and it doesn't matter where they're at their business, whether they're earning really well, they're a good, 6, 7-figure speaker or coach, or they're starting out in business, is actually sequencing and really knowing who they are and understanding of what they offer. And from there, how they can actually position that so they can attract more clients. And this is an area that they just seem to have total confusion about. And it's really unraveling that. Sometimes you're just too close to your own stuff to be able to see your way through, and just moving yourself through that and having the confidence to do that in a way that really serves and gets your message across. So I think it's important for people to really step back and think about what it is they offer, what their messaging is, what they want to provide, and who they want to serve, instead of rushing in and just throwing things out there and hoping it's going to stick in the world, because it never works. And so when I work with clients, I sort of help them to work their way through this. So I'm very strategic in the way that I work. And I try to get my clients thinking about, well, what is it that I really want to do? How do I want to be putting this out there? And just walking them through and supporting them through this process, because I very much partner with them as well. And one of the 5 steps that I encourage my clients to actually take and walk is actually telling the world, sharing it with the world once they've got the clarity on it, showing the world, capturing them as new clients, and then serving them really well. So it's an end-to-end process, and you should never stop serving your clients. So having that real clarity every step of the way, and I know that's very big picture, but it's so important, because then you've got confidence in yourself, you've got confidence in what you're delivering, and you can confidently serve others in what you're doing.
And it's mentioned you mentioned a few of the C words there, and the C words, we didn't use ChatGPT to make this up. It came from our surveys from our last 6 events. The 3 words that come up, if we were to word cloud everything that people say that they want. They want clarity, they want confidence, and they want consistency, right? How cool is that? And, all of you all are mentioning those exact things because this is where the struggle is. When we are unclear, it eats at our confidence. When we're not confident, we lack the consistency. And so they're all really interconnected. So I love that, Nairi. Ken, how about you? What's that area of struggle that is totally preventable?
Well, first of all of the above, obviously. But I think the big thing, at least from the standpoint of making it all turn into cash, that's another C word, by the way.
And now we have 4.
An
Let's
important
keep
one.
it.
Well, community. Need to put community in there. That's important. But here's the thing: if you're not talking in their language, and if you're not gearing your message to your audience, you're wasting your time. My buddy Perry Belcher says, "Are you selling what you want to sell or what they want to buy?" And so often, I've got a client right now, for example. Her whole presentation was built around her and her event. No one cares about her event. No one cares about her. They care about the transformation they're going to get by attending her event, by what they're going to achieve, where they're going to be, what result they'll experience. The event is just a mechanism for getting there. And if we recognize that, then it's not about us anymore. It's not about our ego. It's about what we can do for our client. Now, all of you have touched on that to some degree, but that's foundational. So we got to stop. I'm going to say it, renegade. Stop bullshitting our audience with all the big language. No one cares. Suzanne Evans says this, and I've never forgotten it. She said, "Talk to your audience like you were 2 drinks in at the bar." Because we're talking real language, the way people think in their head. They're not thinking about esoteric BS corporate words. They're like in pain at 2 o'clock in the morning. Which is why I always run buyer analyses about where is their head when they're freaking out. And the other piece that goes with it relating to confidence is that when you want to make a sale, particularly if you have a high ticket sale to make, if you're making it yourself, so often that level of confidence and not knowing how to have that discussion with your potential client will freak you the heck out. And that's where you start losing your sale because you talk too much. I'm guilty of that. Or you don't catch the finesses of where they've given you opportunities to close them. And so I'm actually building something to solve that problem right now because I needed it for me to close, in this case, probably about $50,000 worth of sales because I built that solution. That's what we need. Right on time. Yes.
The other thing I should mention about all these people is that they do pride themselves on, you know, showing up huge for the audience. So being on time, staying within the time limits, but also delivering the goods. And I know that you're all wired that way. Because I am too. And that's what's cool. I think that's why we all get along. So building upon this, right? Let's talk about opportunities to make a bigger impact. And I will give you the choice of how you want to answer this question. Either what's one thing that you wish you knew that you're doing now that has made a big difference for you, or what's one big opportunity that's happening now? Like if it was the next thing that somebody was to do, this could make a big difference for them. So I'll leave it up to you how you want to answer that question. But our intent here is let's give them some actionable things that they should be considering possibly next, growth levers that if they pull, then the increase that they're looking for is going to be realized sooner than later. And as they all said, either immediately or within the next 30 days. So let's add that part of it too. Nina, let's start with you.
All right. I never get the benefit of listening to everybody else's answers, but I'm a big girl. So I think I'm going to go with the latter part, which was the opportunity. So, sounding like everybody else and the broken record, for those of us who know what a record is, it's a thing that can skip and repeat itself. Is that, I mean, the opportunity of AI is something that none of us can ignore. And I think it's an amazing opportunity because it allows us to build tools that fix the problems that our clients are having. So I'm seeing very clear problems like we have in our community. There is a commenting problem because it's time bound. It's not asynchronous, it's synchronous. And I now, and we all now have the opportunity with these fairly simple tools where we can address problems that before were not addressable, where we had to throw money at it or massive time at it. And now we can kind of, there's still time and money to be thrown at it to a certain degree, but much less so. And I think that is an opportunity that is ginormous. And I'm saying that also as someone who's seen friends. So I'm right at the cusp between Boomer and X, who, when, the interweb started and computers became what they are now, sort of were, not so important. I'll just sort of hobble along. Those are all people that are now out of work or in miserable jobs because they missed the effing train. And none of us, no matter how old we are, can miss the AI train. We don't need to know how it works. It's like, the light. You flip the switch, you know where the switch is, you know how to flip it. What happens in the wall, I don't give a rat's ass. I don't want to know, but I know the light goes on. And that's the same with AI. Have someone build whatever you need for you, but have it built. Make sure you are in on AI.
I couldn't agree more. And we're in a time right now where there's such a great level of opportunity. And the last time I
Mhm.
saw this level of opportunity was 1999. And that
Mhm.
was when brick and mortar businesses were starting to go online. And,
Yep.
for at least a decade, decade and a half, my agency helped those businesses go online and learn how to market themselves online. And then for a while, it's like all about online marketing. The AI is a huge reset. It is an opportunity for us to embrace right now. And those who are on that will see huge gains. Learning how to do it properly, though, not just asking random questions of GPT. That's a whole other workshop. Okay, but thanks for bringing that up. It's huge.
Yeah.
Steve, how about you? Like, what's an opportunity, or something you wish you knew that is, if you were to implement that in the next, immediately or within the next 30 days, it would make a big, big impact.
Well, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go the absolute reverse because I shot a video yesterday that was basically all about people don't change, but technology does. And I know there's one other person in the room of the same sex as me. I'm not going to mention Ken's name because of our age. We remember when yellow pages were that thick and came in 2 volumes and actually could hold the door back. And then we got excited when the fax came in and there was fax marketing. And then we got excited when the web came in and online marketing came about. And then we've come in with the phones and digital marketing and apps, and now AI's come along. Guess what? We need to adapt and we need to actually think about our human leverage factor. A recent study came out 94% of consumers still want to deal human to human. So, whatever it is that we do, don't get consumed in chasing the latest app, etc., etc. Know how you can use it, know how you can leverage it, but how do you leverage it to be more of you to connect human to human? And that's one of the biggest things that we can do is don't lose sight of that. Don't get consumed. And I call it the AI tsunami. If you know how a tsunami works, an event happens offshore, under the water. And then the water recedes, and everybody's running around looking at all of the rock pools and saying, oh, look at that, look at that, look at all the stuff that I've never seen before. And as everybody's getting sucked out, and then everybody's going to be starting to use the same way, and then the inundation comes in. We're just about to hit the inundation because everybody's getting sucked into all of these different AI things, but losing the actual sight of who they are, what their core feature is, and leveraging AI, not getting consumed by it. So the goal is, and 1983, I opened the doors of my health club and I set up collaborations and joint ventures the day I started. Chuck, you're showing people, and Naira, you're all showing people how to do all of that. It's like don't lose sight of the basics, but use all the tools to enhance what you're doing and enhance the relationships that you can create.
That you just said the R word, and anyone who's been in my world or been in my program for a long time, we say, what's the R word? It's relationship. And excellent point, Steve, because we can't just let AI and all the technologies just automate anything. And if you automate rubbish, you're going to get more rubbish out. And so it's got to be good, and it's got to augment what you really can do authentically. And yes, we all crave human to human connection, and we don't trust things when they come across as being too AI generated or robotic, right? And so human to human connection, value the relationships. I think quality over quantity for sure. Yvonne, how about you?
I'm going to answer both questions, I think. The thing that I wish that I had done, well, first of all, let me just say Chuck has been incredibly instrumental with me learning to develop relationships, meaningful relationships. And that's a whole nother story. But anyway, the thing that I wish I had done earlier is I wish I had gotten into community earlier. Like a lot of people, was like, I need to be ready. I need to have my stuff together. I need to do this, that, and the other. What I will say to you is get into community early, specifically the right community for you. So you may have to shop around a little bit. You don't need, 15 communities to be in. You need a couple communities that you can be active in. One of the things that it will do for you, it will shorten your your learning curve. You don't have to make the same mistakes that other people make. The other thing it will do is it will show you that people do different things at different stages of their business, that your business has a flow to it. It has a pattern of what you need to do when you're first starting. Um, you know, you will start to see how when you are unapologetically yourself, which this group apparently is doing very well, you won't be generic. You will stand out. People will start to recognize you for what you do, and your clarity will come sooner. Having said that, probably one of the best things I ever heard from somebody is you can make your own stage. And what I mean by that is you don't have to wait to be invited to be on somebody else's thing. If you don't feel like you're ready to do a webinar, this is something that you can do next week. And what I have my clients do is start office hours. They do it either once a month or twice a month. And when you go to community and you go networking, you have something to offer. And I guarantee you for the first month or 6 weeks, nobody will show up. Oh, sorry, nobody will show up, but you get to work on your business. But they will show up eventually.
Well said, and well summarized at the very last 5 seconds. Really, really well done. Nairi, how about you? What's an opportunity or something you wish you would have known or that could really change things in the next 30 days?
Yeah, sure. I just want to comment on the AI. I want to get on that AI bandwagon to start with because we do a lot of work with AI, and I do a whole summit around, difference between or the execution with AI versus the human element and bringing that into it. And Steve was one of our speakers at our last one, but it's really important to keep that balance there with AI and look at where you're using it in your business. And we're actually using it to actually move all of our training resources onto AI platforms. So look at what you're doing with AI. Don't make it the God. Okay. It's something, it's a tool. It's something you use in your business. So keep that, as Steve said, in its swim lane. But looking at the survey results, what best describes your current business stage? Having an offer but not selling consistently was really high on the surveys. So to me, that's telling me that people are having issues with, that sort of roller coaster of up and down with sales. Why aren't I converting? What's happening here? And there could be a multitude of reasons for that. So the key thing I would say to people, and I'm a big planner, I like to really get my ducks in a row as much as I can. Doesn't mean the ducks always behave, but I like to try and do it. But get a plan going, work out why you're not converting, dissect that, but don't try and do it yourself. It's like when you go and buy a house, do you get a plumber in? Do you get an inspector in to make sure it's not filled with white ants? Get someone else in that's actually walked in your shoes, that knows what they're doing, that can actually help you and really dig into it and start to pull out, well, what's happening with your conversions? Why are you seeing that roller coaster? And I think that'll make immense difference in the next 30 days if you do that. If you do nothing else, make sure you get that right and really dig into what's not working and why it's not working and fix that before you go any further.
Really, really well said, Nairi. Thank you. Ken, over to you. What
I'm
is that opportunity to change things in the next 30 days? Either something you wish you knew or a huge opportunity?
I'm almost going to do a pass here because you guys took my entire thunder. Um, Steve hit it right on the nail with respect to the humanity of AI. And I embrace AI all the time. I've written a number of newsletters and AI writes them for me, but it really doesn't. I dictate what I want. AI gives me what I want. Then I go back and I energize it. That's a technical term. So I use AI as an assistant, and it also gives me some great ideas. It's a great idea generator. So I embrace it, and we just set up OpenClaw yesterday. Holy mackerel! I mean, for automation on the back end of your business, 100% you should be using it, embracing it because everyone else is, and they will eat you for lunch if you don't. To that end, consistency is critically important for us. And I'm one of those people which I'll stick my head up. I'll post on social media. I hate social media, by the way, but I'll post and then I'm done, like for the next 6 months, because it's just not my thing. But I know for my business, it's critically important. AI can help me stay consistent with my messaging, but once again, there's got to be humanity built into it. Otherwise, people can see past that. I have a brand called the Daily Hug, dailyhug.com. It's free for everybody, helps you build your self-esteem, reminds you that you're not alone, helps combat loneliness. When I do videos for Daily Hug, I've got to be in the video because it can't be faked. You can't have an an image of me on the screen. People get that. We're looking for authenticity. So we have to maintain that connection with who we are and who our audience is. That's really critical. So, but what do we need to remember is use the tool. Absolutely 100% use the tool, but make it work for you. At the same time, we're going to add teddy bears and stuff. So we have some animated creatures that we'll be using because that converts really well in that market. Guess what we'll do? We'll use AI to create that consistently, automatically. So I would recommend using it for that purpose because remember, it's the person that's going to buy from you. It's not their computer that's going to buy from you. It's their heart that will buy. It's their brain that will justify it. So keep that right on time again. Yeah, baby.
Well, perfect. And that just speaks to your speaking experience, Ken. Not your first rodeo, but you got to love that word Kenergized. Does anybody else feel Kenergized right now? That's awesome. Okay. So here's what we're going to do next. And that is each have 2 minutes to share what is the thing that you can do? What is it that you bring to the table that can help this audience make a bigger impact or grow their impact or make an incremental increase towards that consistency and confidence that they want within the next 30, 60, 90 days? What's the one thing that you can do to help them with that? And then at the end of your time, just remind everybody we have a free gift. We'll drop your free gift in the chat and we'll do a wrap up after this. What's the one thing that you can do to help them make a bigger impact or move the needle? And then we'll tell us what your gift is, and Robin will drop it in the chat. So Robin will need to be ready for with the gifts. And Nina, we'll start with you.
No kidding. So surprise, surprise.
It was random, Nina, just so you know. It's just the order I can see everybody else.
No, I know.
You're number one,
Anyways,
kid. You're number one. That's it. That's what we got.
There we go.
There we go. I'll take it. So I think the simplest thing to get started with is making sure that your profile reflects you on LinkedIn. And coincidentally, I have a little giveaway called the 9 Steps to a Near Perfect. I'm Swiss, so I do believe in perfectionism. I just have to throw that in there. So, all right, it's called the 9 Steps to a Near Perfect LinkedIn Profile. What it is, it's a little graphic that walks you step 1 through 9. There's actually a 10th bonus just to throw things off balance that will sort of give you like a 1 to 2 sentence top thing to pay attention to on your profile. So like number 1 is your profile image. It's a header. It's your headline. It's the about section, the featured section, blah, 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 blah. And it's just a really easy, applicable, quick checklist to sort of keep you focused and not go off on the rails and start, doing a deep dive into something. And before you know it, you're shopping for alpacas at Target. I want you to stay really focused on, looking at your profile and making those updates. So that is my giveaway that I hope will sort of give you a first pass at making sure that you look your best so that when people come and check you out, they don't go running for the hills.
I love that. And Robin has dropped your gift. And if somebody could please click the link, just make sure it goes there. And just if you could put in the chat saying, yes, I got it, or yes, the link works, or whatever. I just want to make sure. And we're going to do that with each of the gifts. I just want to make sure that you're grabbing them as we go here. Nina, thank you. That's a great gift. And next up is Steve. What's the thing that you can do to help them make a bigger impact in the short term? And then what's your gift?
Okay, within the 2 minutes, I'm going to split into two. My gift is actually how to get more referrals without asking for them. It's stemmed from the neuroscience and the psychology, and I worked with a client of mine who didn't like asking for referrals, and I showed them the way that we do it. And there's a set process we do it. And he said, "Oh my God, Steve, I can actually do that." And within the next 10 days, they generated $150,000 in referral in their own business. So that's my gift. Over Easter, while everybody was eating chocolate Easter eggs, Hunter and I completely revamped our business and we turned it into the one-page sales engine. So if you opt in for the gift that I've got here, how to get referrals by not asking for them, and let me know that you come from Chuck, I'll give you a free seat at some training that I've got coming up, which is all about the one-page sales engine. And I rebuilt that because 3 of my people just came to me, and within one call each, they generated $6,912,000 on each just doing a single call. One from selling a big ticket, one getting 3 from a networking event, and one from pod guesting. So the biggest thing is in your own network, you can actually get referrals without asking for them. Having your client say, "Oh my God, I've got to let more people know about you." And there's a way of doing that you're going to feel great and they're going to feel great. And then once you've got that and you say, "Hey, I'll come from Chuck, I'm going to give you a seat at the one-page sales engine," which when you use this one pager, life will just change. And it is end to end. How do you have those relationships? How do you get a deeper relationship and connection where in the end they're going to say, "My God, shut up, take my money." As those in Australia would know, that's a Kentucky Fried Chicken ad. Shut up and take my money. That's what I've got for you, and trying to make it as easy as possible to have those conversations to get high quality referrals and then also have to get high quality clients.
And also be like fried chicken and make your offer to the point where it's shut up and take my money.
Yep. And also you're going to come to my workshop and it will be finger licking good.
Finger licking good. And there's so many imaginative pictures I have in my mind of that now, Steve. Thank you for that. Yes, if you grabbed Steve's gift, say got it in the chat, click the link. I see a few, the link works. A few of you got it. Great. Thank you. Over to you. What's the thing that you can do to help them make a bigger impact in the short term?
One of the things that I can do is to help you see how great you really are. So my Be Found framework starts with be yourself and helping you to see the thing that makes you the experts for the clients that are already working, who are already looking for you. The Be Found, one of the things I want to say that I think is very different is this is really personalized. It is not meant to be a cookie cutter kind of thing, because that's why a lot of us have not made the progress that we wanted to make, because people do not understand our clients the way we do. And I think there are 4 steps in the client's trust journey. If you're getting clients, the last 2 steps you've probably got down pretty good. It's the first 2 steps. What is it that makes them say, "I need help"? And what is it that you're saying that says, "I recognize you and I can help you," right? And so, in the Be Found framework, one of the things that I love that AI changes every single time is the last step is delight, deliver, and delight. And it always takes out the first delight, right? Because it thinks it's repetition. But if I can't delight you when I'm just talking to you, why would you want to work with me? And if I delight you, then it is going to make so much easier to deliver what I'm giving to you and what you're in the partnership that we're making. And if I want to keep you as a client, not just have it be one and done, I need to continue to delight you. And in order to do that, I need to get into your head. I need to say the words that you understand, that, I often say there are things that I can say to women that they will automatically go, "Oh God, yes." And a guy's like, "What?" Do you know? And I only have like one or two big, sports analogies, three strikes and you're out, right? So you need to be able to come at it from the perspective of the client and not from the perspective of the marketing. What is it that they need and what is it that you can give them? And you can find that out by making your own platform and having office hours. So you can get all that done and come to my workshop as well. And we go through how to do that quickly.
I love how you got that last word in there with 1 second left. That's awesome. Yes, quickly is good. Good qualifier. If anybody has clicked to the link, please say so in the chat. If you have signed up for her workshop, please let us know. Yes, got it, signed up, whatever. Let's keep that going. So thank you, Yvonne. And Nairi, how about you? What's that thing that you can do to help them make a bigger impact in the short term?
Yeah, look, just probably going back over what you said during this session today is I really focus on working with my clients and partnering with them where they're at. It doesn't matter where they're at, whether they're starting out or they're more advanced in business and they just want to level up their business. So I'm really open and honest with them about what I'm seeing. And I think that's one of the best things that someone can be with a potential client or a client that they're working with, because they come to you and they trust you and they see you as having that expertise that they're actually seeking and able to help them to solve their problems. And that's so important to be able to do that. So I think building that relationship and that trust with a client or a prospect is so important. And it's something that I really focus, very deeply on in everything I do in all my interactions. So I think that's one of the great things that I do well. Apart from, we've got some great resources and that we help our clients with. But taking that very individualized approach, it's, quite hybrid. It's not cookie cutter because it is. Every business is different and everybody's an individual and they bring their own personalities, their needs and their wants to that. And it's important that, that is recognized and acknowledged. And the free offer that I've got, the free download that I've got for everyone today is called the Funnel Detective AI Audit. And that basically it's an AI stack that really looks at your sales funnel and where it's leaking potential sales, and it gives you recommendations around that. And there's a combination of 6 AI tools that are in that stack that'll really help you with a range of different areas. So there's a free link that will go in the chat for that. But also on top of that, if you let me know that you've actually downloaded that or you've come from Chuck, we'll give you a free seat at our next summit. And you'll also get a 30-minute call with me to talk about your ducks and what you want to do with your conversions.
Amazing. Thank you, Nairi. Link is in the chat. Please, everybody, let me know if you clicked the link, if you've got it. Kudos to Nairi, whatever you want to say in there. There's been a lot of great comments about our panelists so far. These are very generous people, by the way. It's one of the reasons why we all get along. And we're generous with one another for sure, and with our audiences. Ken, over to you. What's that thing that you can do to help them in the short term? Oh, you're muted, my friend. We need to unmute you because I don't think you can unmute yourself.
I'm good. All right, there we go. Sorry, guys.
Okay. Yeah.
I was solving the world's crises while we were.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
noble of you.
First of all, I just want to acknowledge the ducks because they need to be fed. And what do you feed ducks? Quackers. Okay, moving right along. I just wanted to. So what do I bring to the table? That it's that connection with joy, the connection of making sure that what the experience people have with you is something that they do enjoy doing. The first thing that Yvonne said to me when she saw it I was here was like, remember what it was, Yvonne? Want to tell everybody what it was? What you put in the chat?
It's a making experience for learning.
Yeah. At one of my 3-day events, I made a pizza on stage. Like, who does that? So be unique, be different. And so what I like to do with people is find out what makes them special, where they're leaving money on the table. So the gift for you guys is what I call the revenue leak audit. You really find where you're leaving money on the table, because all of you are, even those of you on the panel are, because we're perfect, but there's still room. I mean, there's still always room in that glass for more. So it'll take you through. It's 100% free. I don't even think there's an opt-in for it, but it'll help you figure out where you're losing money after the original sale. For those of you who have not yet made sales, I've got something for you guys too. It has not been released yet. The pages still can't even opt in. So just grab the revenue leak audit and we'll connect. But I'm building something that will actually be your sales Sherpa, so that if you're afraid to make a sale, you're afraid to talk to somebody, you're afraid you're going to sound like an idiot on the phone, like I can be sometimes, it will talk you through that. It'll give you the confidence and let you know exactly what to say to make sales happen more effortlessly. It's super important for big ticket deals, really important for that. And it's about to be released sometime next week, I think. So waitlist is coming. And that's it, kids. I have 11 seconds left. I should dance. Back to you. Oh, get this way. Acknowledgements to the amazing Chuck for putting this all together. So everybody get Chuck in hand.
Thank you. How about that? Because that was going to be my next question. What are all the good feelings you have about me as the host? No, I'm just kidding.
Whenever I come to Vancouver, it's all about you, babe. We sit down, we have coffee, if we connect, it's the real deal, baby.
Yeah. Well, let me know next time you're here. So thank you for all the amazing gifts, and we're gonna wrap up our roundtable here in a moment, and I'm gonna ask you all for a 1-sentence soundbite of inspiration, words of advice, words of wisdom that we're gonna leave our audience with. And before we do, I have a gift for you as well. And I didn't warn Robin about this, so Robin, it's okay. I've already dropped it in the chat. I want to invite you all to my workshop next week where so the way I can help you in the short term is I can help you to find 3 types of affiliate partners. We help you to find influencers. We help you to find joint venture partners. Help you to find ambassadors and many other types of partnerships that can help you to fill your events and fill your coaching programs and fill your calendar full of consultations or sell your product or whatever it is that you're selling. And next week, I'm going to be delivering a 90-minute workshop that is going to show you everything from start to finish, everything you need to know to start working with these types of partnerships. And I'm going to, when you stay a little bit later today, I'm going to do just a short excerpt of that. But if you come and join me and register for that event, and just let me know in the chat once you've done that, I am going to show you everything you need to do to get other people to promote your program, to promote your event. You can leverage other people's lists and then take that a step further and start to create collaborative relationships like the amazing people that I have here. We all support each other's events. And look, just to prove that this works, okay, put the name of the person in the chat. So in the chat, put the name of the person who invited you here. Now, you might very well have been on my list and you might go, I'm here because of you. Well, if you think back far enough, somebody promoted one of my events in the last 3 years and you ended up on my list because of one of my partnerships, right? And so Nina, you've got some fans. I know that others were referred by other panelists here. We had our panelists promote this. We had other affiliates and partners promote this as well. So, you really could have been referred by anyone. That's how it works. Imagine if you had a team of partners who could promote you and help you to fill your webinars, your events, your workshops, your coaching program, whatever it is. That's what you'll learn in my workshop. Register and attend. We will see you next week. And then stay a little bit longer today. I'm going to do about a 10-minute excerpt. And you're going to want to have your camera out and take a picture of the model because it shows you exactly what you need to do to fill your program. That's the 10-minute version of the 90-minute workshop. Okay. So that was my gift. That's in the chat. So make sure you grab that. Panelists, thank you. You are amazing. I value our friendship. I value our partnership. I look forward to always our next opportunity to do something. And I thank you for what you have brought to inspire this audience here today. If you have benefited from being here today, put that in the chat. Like, yes, I was glad I was here, or yeah, or whatever you want to say. Less typing, put a 1 in the chat if you just loved being here. So I'm going to ask each one of them to wrap up this roundtable portion by answering one thing in 1 sentence. And that is, what is your best piece of advice or words of wisdom to leave our audience with here today? And mine is always, you could be one collaboration away from a big breakthrough. And the only way to fail is to quit. So keep moving forward. Okay, that's mine.
I'm not
Go.
going first. Not going first.
Okay,
Not going
Steve.
first.
Okay. Steve, you can go first.
Yeah. I'm actually going to quote my first ever book. It's called Stand Up, Stand Out, or Stand Aside, subtitled Be Different or Bugger Off.
Be different or bugger off. Well done.
That's being an Aussie.
Yeah, that's true.
Yvonne, what's your one-liner? What's your piece of advice?
My piece of advice is entrepreneurship is not easy. The way to have consistency and still be there is to have a community, have relationship, and, be with generous people who will support you along the way.
That.
100%. Yes.
Mm.
Be with generous people who help you along the way. Love it. Nairi, how about you?
You have uniqueness, you have brilliance. So go out there and make it happen.
Awesome. Thank you. Ken?
You're not alone. Simple. This is not a solitary business to be in. This is a business of collaboration. This is not a business where you are solitary. This is a business where you work well and best together. So if you're having a bad day, and you'll have lots of bad days, some of them combined. They'll last for a month or longer. It happens. But know that when you have people that actually give a damn about you, and they do, you can talk to a Steve Rossman, you can talk to a Chuck Anderson. They're my buddies. If you feel like you're at the edge of the ledge, you're not alone, and know that. But it becomes real when you actually step in. So that means coming to Chuck's event next week, learning from Chuck, learning from all the people you see here on the screen, because we're here to help you get to that next place and know that you matter. And what you have to give people is not just a gift, but it's your responsibility to the world. If you don't give what you've got to the world, everyone loses.
So well said, Ken. And it's so true. And it's hard time to remember when we've all first started out and when we were alone and trying to do it all alone. I know I was definitely a solopreneur, and which I can't stand that term because nobody really wins alone. And I'm so glad that I met you all and that I have relationships with you because it's a lot more fun and it's so much easier when we just work together, right? Nina, how about you?
Yeah. So now I've come up with something. Thank you. So in the spirit of what has been said here, I did 20 years by myself, as you, Chuck, solo. So find a community and find a community that fits your nervous system. I had to learn that the hard way too. I was in communities where there were the mean girls and the popular girls and this and that and the other. And I don't do that anymore. I found communities that work for me.
Find communities that work for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And yeah, not all of them were built for you, and that's why there's choice. We're blessed with that. But when you find your tribe, stay connected with them for sure. So in conclusion to this panel portion, I want to say you are all my tribe. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being in my world. Honestly, nobody really wins alone, and I'm grateful to have you on my side. And hopefully you feel vice versa with that. So thank you to Nina and Steve and Yvonne and Nairi and Ken. We're going to send you back to the audience now, but thank you, thank you, thank you. You are all amazing. And we're not done yet. I'm going to show you that quick 10-minute excerpt, the 3 types of partners that can fill your events to capacity. I'm going to show you that here right now. Let's go ahead and just move the spotlights from each one of you. So thank you all. You're amazing. So was that great? Did you all learn something? Did you all get something from that panel? Put a yes in the chat or a 1 in the chat or something that's easy to type. And yeah, there we go. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I want to take just a few minutes before we we'll be done here in about 10, 12 minutes here. I want to share with you an excerpt from my presentation that I'm going to be doing next week. And so this is one where you're going to want to have your camera ready here in just a moment because I'm going to encourage you to take a picture of it. And it's something that if you learn to do in your business, then it can make a big difference maker. And where, one of the things I'm so pro partnership and so pro affiliate is that it was affiliates and partnerships that literally saved my business and possibly even saved me at a time where I desperately needed it. You see, I had just left what I called my dream job, and where I was traveling the world. I was delivering seminars, and it felt like I had really made it, and I was doing amazing. But it wasn't my company, and the company I was working for, partnered with at the time, was sold, and I no longer had that opportunity. And going from a huge $20 million company who sends you all over the world with a all expenses paid ticket is a lot different than running your own business, your own consultancy. And I no longer had a team. I was all by myself. And, I started to struggle and I started to make mistakes. Like, when things got tough, I started lowering my prices, thinking more clients were going to come in, and they didn't. I just got the same number of clients, but at a lower rate. And then I got desperate and started to run paid advertising with a budget that was too small to work and money I couldn't afford to spend or lose, and I lost it all. And I hope none of you are doing that. But, these are just a couple of the examples of things that people do when they lack the consistency, when their confidence maybe is shaky and they lack the clarity of a good plan. And I'm going to give you some clarity right now, or at least, a potential next step for you. You see, because it was one affiliate, just one, that saved me. I was literally at rock bottom. I was at zero. All I had left as a marketing strategy was to leverage somebody else's list and to partner with them. And so what I did was I scheduled a webinar. I made a list of 10 people that I knew. I networked with one, and I found one who was willing to send out 3 emails to promote my webinar. And I'll tell you the longer version of this story at my workshop, but the short version of the story is that he sent out the 3 emails. I put just under 100 people registered for that event, and we sold 9 clients into a $1,000 coaching program, $36,000 in sales from just one partner and just one webinar, right? And this is something that not just I can do, but other clients of mine, we've been doing that model ever since. And I'm going to show you exactly what that model is right now. And it's got to do with these different types of partnerships, and it's got to do with the types of offers that we can make. And so here again, I'll do the longer version of this at the workshop, but here's what I want you to know right now. If I was to do this all over again from scratch, starting a brand new business, either as a coach, a consultant, or a service provider, or really any type of business, here's what I would do. I would start with an irresistible offer. What makes it irresistible? Well, I'll start with what it doesn't make it irresistible, going to ChatGPT and saying, what makes my offer irresistible? You see, because it's not about the words, it's not about the language, it's not all about that. It's very simple. It's provide a specific solution to a specific problem for the people who have an urgent need to solve that problem. Okay. Urgent. So specific solution to a specific problem to someone who has an urgent need to solve that problem. That's what makes it irresistible. So you need to be looking for people who have an urgent need to solve the type of problem that you can solve for them. You heard me ask the panelists today, what is the thing that you can do in the short term to help people make a bigger impact? And see, they are all aware of what that problem is that they solve. They all know what your urgent need is. Do you know what your client's urgent need is? You need to know that. It's the foundation. Because once you know that, then you can start to book calls and meetings and consultation calls with people who have that urgent need. Okay. And if it was just this easy, I would only do this. But the problem is, it's like, well, okay, yes, I know I should be booking calls, but where am I going to get those calls from? Glad you asked that. This is why we host events and virtual events, webinars, master classes, challenges, summits, panel events like the one we did today. We hold live events, and it's how we get to know people. It's how we find people who have the urgent need for the clients and the list build and the lead generation that they need. So we host events and we use those events to find the people with the urgent need. We book calls with them and we make an offer to help them to solve their problem. And that's where our clients come from. And so this is right here, you could, as long as you had a good source of these consultation calls with people with that urgent need, you would be winning right now. We add the live webinar to it because there's no better way to rapidly build a relationship. You heard our panelists today talk about relationship, build a relationship with people who need what you do. But you might be saying, well, I've tried webinars before, I've tried events like this one, and nobody came. And it's probably not that no one attended, it's that you didn't have enough people registered. And that's where these come in, right? This is where we have our consistency, is that we spend all of our time in between events following up with the attendees of the event and building our next one by leveraging three types of partnerships: JV or joint venture partnerships, affiliates, and ambassadors. And I'm going to define those real quick here. But if you come to my workshop, and Robin, if you could paste the link to my workshop again, give everybody a chance. We'll do the longer version of this. A joint venture partnership, we just define it as somebody who is either looking for a reciprocal promotion. Many of the panelists you met here today, we've done joint venture or reciprocal promotions with one another. We've also done collaboration. In fact, today's event was a collaboration. It was a collaborative style event where the six of us came together to provide content and an opportunity to learn for you. And so that's a form of a JV partnership. Then there's affiliates or influencers. These are people who have lists or reach of your target audience. Could be people with newsletters, could be people with YouTube channels or podcast hosts or big Facebook groups or whatever, who already have large lists of your audience, who, if they were to just promote you and promote your event or promote your lead generation offer, you would have instant leads that you could book consultation calls with and make your irresistible offer. So affiliates, you don't have to promote them back. Those of you with small lists or a list of zero, you're not going to start with JV partnerships, but you can start with influencers and also ambassadors. Ambassadors are your fans. They're the people who would promote you for free. You don't have
Mm.
to pay them a commission in some cases, but they are your clients. They're your past event attendees, they are your followers, they're your fans, and they will spread the word. And one of the things that we did for this event is that we had our ambassadors each refer two or three people to this event. In fact, we used all three types for today's event: JV partnerships, collaborations, affiliate influencers, and ambassadors, all working together fills the event. In fact, the event that you're going to come to and join me next week, where I'm going to do a 90-minute breakdown of exactly how we do this, where to find them, what to say to them, how to structure your offer, how much to pay them in commission, and in really putting the whole thing together where you can start to leverage it in the next 30, 60, 90 days, right? It doesn't have to take a long time. And if I was going to start again tomorrow from zero, I would do this. Take a picture of this slide, put it up on your wall, because if you did just this, you would have clarity, you would have the confidence to deliver it, and it would lead to the consistency that you desire, right? And then, the other two C's that came up in today's conversation: generating the cash and the community, right? The cash and the community. So clarity, confidence, consistency, cash, and community. Now we have five C's, not just three. So I want to invite you to, we don't have time for that. We will do that in the workshop. So come to the workshop next week. It's at April 16th at 2 p.m. Pacific time. It's about the same time that this event here started today. Come and join me for that one, and we will teach you everything you need to know to start leveraging partnerships and affiliates to help you to get clients, fill your events, and whatever else it is that you want to promote. I want to wrap up by saying thank you to everybody. First of all, to my panelists. So Ken and Nina and Steve and Nairi and Yvonne, you are amazing. I love you, and I can't wait to do the next thing with you. Shout out to Robin. Robin is the silent partner behind the scenes and throwing things in the chat, supporting me so that I can focus on you. Big shout out to Robin and the rest of my team who helps to coordinate this event. And I want to thank you as our attendees, as our audience. And the fact that you are here today at an event called Big Impact Success Panel, and you resonate with this idea of making a big impact. And we know that in a lot of cases, people prioritize impact over profits. Now, we believe that you need to be profitable in order to help to fund that bigger impact. So it really does all go hand in hand, but you're the type of people who care. You care about other people. You don't want to just make money at all expense, but you really want to help enhance people's lives. You are my favorite people. And so this and I resonate with you, and every one of our panelists resonates with you because we're all on that same journey. We're just a little bit ahead of where you are. But we are here to guide you through your next steps. We are here. And there was, when I first started out, there wasn't a lot of people that you could learn from that would just say, hey, come and learn what we were doing. And, today we have such a great opportunity to do this. I want to leave you with this, and that is the impact that you want to make is worth it. And I forget who said it earlier. I want to say it was Ken, but it was somebody who said, like, you have a gift.
I'll take the credit.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll give it to you. You feel energized now. You have a gift. And if and I'm going to suggest that you have that gift for a reason, and that is yours to use to benefit people for the better. And when you do that with enough people, the money will come, the consistency will come, and we need you to confidently go out there and do that. But you don't have to do it alone. You can partner with one of us. You can partner with all of us. We are in your corner. We want to see you succeed. See, because we're all the kind of people who believe that the world changes for the better when people like you are able to make that bigger impact, when you become more visible, when more people can see what it is that you are capable of doing. And then you go out and you pay it forward, just like we're doing right now. You go teach others, you go and impact others in a big way. And then when we all do that collectively, we're going to make a huge, huge impact. The ripple effect of that makes a huge positive difference in the world at a time where we really need it. And I'm going to leave you with this, that even in your toughest times, there is no obstacle or challenge that is too big to be overcome. You have just met 6 of us today who can help you to overcome those challenges. And you might be just one collaboration away or partner away from a big breakthrough that is going to lead you to the impact that you want to make. So you got to believe that it's possible, right? The only way to fail is to quit. So keep moving forward, everybody. Watch your email. I will send you the replay and the gifts. And in the meantime, we'll see you on the next one. Thank you, everybody.